Okay, well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our super exciting start of our legendary river promotion. We are going to be talking about Viking river cruises. My name is Sean Friesen, franchise partner with Expedia Cruises, part of Team Friesen, and I am doing the solo tonight. Viking is running this promotion Canada or North America wide, and so it's really tough to corral one of the Viking reps. But you're in great hands, and we're going to take about 35 to 40 minutes just to talk about Viking, talk about river cruising, and all that that entails. And so, just getting my controls here going. So, and give me just a second. I want to make sure that the sound is going to work. Give me just a second. Oh, hi. That's what I wanted to make sure. Okay. So we're going to start out with a little video and we'll go from there.
Stuff. We love stuff, and there's some really great stuff out there. But I doubt that any of us will look back on our lives and think, I wish I'd gotten a slightly sportier SUV, bought an even thinner TV, or found a trendier scent. I wish I'd discovered a crunchier chip, found a lighter light beer, or had an even smarter smartphone.
Whoops.
Do you think any of us will look back in our lives and regret the things we didn't buy? Or the places we didn't go?
Okay, love that video because that really talks about what we've been going through these last 36 months. We all, through COVID, we all were stuck in our homes. We missed, birthdays and weddings and funerals. We missed so much, and we're really finding that our clients right now, they're looking for those spectacular vacations. They're looking to make up for lost time, and a river cruise to Europe is such a great way to visit. So thank you for joining us. My name is Sean Friesen. That's my lovely wife. And we bought our first center in 2007. We've been in the travel industry for the last 16 years. We've got an amazing team of 275 consultants from Kenora to North Bay, Windsor to Toronto. They're passionate travelers, and they want to work with you to create those spectacular vacations. We're about creating memories and fulfilling your travel dreams, and Europe has to be down on your list. The history, the sites, it's just such a great destination. We are one of the top centers with Expedia Cruises. And back in 2019, we had over 8,500 passengers travel that were booked by us. For 2023, that could be 12 to 13 to 14,000 travels back, and we're so excited. I have locations in Thunder Bay, Windsor, Woodstock, Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, North Bay. So we have Northern Ontario service, and then 2 stores in Burlington, a store in Hamilton, and a store in Dundas just reopened. And during the next 24 months, we're planning to reopen in Sarnia, Chatham, St. Thomas, and Orillia. So we believe in the travel industry so much, the pent-up demand. We want to be your travel agent. We want to be your travel agency as well. Why book with a travel agency? Why book with us? Couple of things. My team has traveled to all 7 continents. We've cruised over 1,500 times. We've been there or we've sent people there. We know things that your Google machine can't know. We're going to make your trip better. And that's our passion. And that's why we do this. That's what gets us up. And so we want to be your travel agent. Suppliers will never sell direct to you than they will never sell less. Sorry, you will get a better deal booking direct with a supplier than the travel agent. They won't, because we wouldn't sell their product. First of all, we have group space, we have promos, we have all sorts of specials that you can't get booking direct. And this current promo is one of those. And so we want to take care of you, absolutely. And this is just a few pictures of my team traveling, learning, sacrificing their time to experience products, to be able to bring that knowledge back to you. And I'm so proud of my team. We took care of people during COVID. We got them home. We booked them, rebooked them, took care of their credits, and now we're back to normal. It's a post-COVID world, and we're so glad to be here. So with that, let's talk about Viking. Viking's one of our favorite partners. And when I started 16 years ago, Viking was a river cruise company. They actually started, I think it's 30 years ago, in Russia with a couple of boats sailing from St. Petersburg to Moscow. Now, there's not a lot of Russian river cruises going right now for obvious reasons. Viking has really grown. This year, they will have 80 river boats. They have 10 ocean-going ships, 930 passenger, and they have 2 expedition ships that go from South America to the Great Lakes. They also have some boats that are sailing the Mississippi too. So it's a growing a company. They do represent 50% of all the berths that are available in Europe. So Viking's a major player and a great partner. The Viking philosophy. They don't try to be everything to everyone. If you've sailed recently, you've been on or you have seen these ships with 3,000, 4,000. The new Royal Caribbean ship's going to have 8,000 passengers. They don't want to be a carnival at sea. They mainly cater to English-speaking mature couples with curious minds, interest in history, culture, and geography. There are no kids allowed, so you don't have to worry about that. Destination-oriented cruise line. That's more for the ocean line. Very few days at sea. They're in port every day. They don't have a casino because you'd never get a chance to play it. For the riverside, you're in smaller towns and little villages to a docking, a 20-minute walk in Vienna from your port to downtown Vienna. Highly inclusive products. So what do we mean by that? If you've cruised before, you know that there's a price to get onto the ship, but sometimes there's a price to get off in the ship. Your shore excursions, your casino, your shopping, river cruising, shore excursions are included. Beer and wine with lunch and supper are included. You don't have that great big bill, getting off. Be an efficient operator and hire the best staff. And a river cruise is way different from an ocean cruise. There's going to be, 30, 40, 50 staff, but there's only 190 passengers. And so you're going to get a chance to know the crew. You're going to get to know their names, and it's a very social trip as well. Why take a Viking river cruise? So that's your ship. Doesn't matter if it's a Viking ship or a Avalon or a Uniworld. All the ships in Europe are the same length, width, and height. That's because that's the size of ship that will fit into the locks. So it's got to be all the same. It's what they do inside the ship. That's your real difference. You dock just like you see right in the heart of the city. River crew or European society was built along the rivers, and so there's no better way to explore than by the river. This is their Aquavit Terrace right at the front of the ship. You'll be sailing down the river. You can have breakfast, lunch, or dinner there. You can watch the little towns that go by. On the right-hand side, you can see a campground. When you're sailing in Germany, you'll see beer gardens all over the place. Every town has a beer gardens. What is great about a river cruise? It's convenient and comfortable. It's not like a motor coach where you've got to get up every morning, bags outside at 6:30 in the morning. This is your floating hotel. Your hotel is going to bring you exactly where you're going. You unpack once, and you can see that lovely glass of wine. You're going to be sailing through some of the most amazing vineyards and places. So, yeah, great way to see Europe. Here, like you've got to pinch yourselves, because what you're seeing right out of storybooks, right out of the movies. I was in Vienna a couple of years ago, pre-COVID, and we were staying down at the Grand Hotel, which is right beside the Vienna Opera House. And I'm looking at it and thinking, I have seen this before. That was featured in Mission Impossible, where Tom Cruise is running across the roof, and you can see the part where it was filmed. So very, very cool. New experience every day. You're going to be seeing these little towns and villages, castles, wineries, churches, all along the rivers too. For your daily excursion, there's a daily excursion that is included. There are different choices and different activity levels. So there's the active one, where you could be going up a hill to see a castle. There's the standard city tour, and then there's the gentle walkers for people with mobility challenges. Maybe don't go quite as fast as they used to. So there are lots of different options for your shore excursions, and all inclusive. So there is that daily tour that is included with a local guide that's really going to give you a feel for these little towns that you're going into. It's one thing to wander through a small French village, but it's another thing for the guide to tell you that this village is where Disney sent their cartoonists who were doing Beauty and the Beast. You're walking through the town that was the inspiration for Beauty and the Beast, Belle's a French town. So yeah, you learn so much. It's really quite something. The Viking difference: destination focused, culturally enriching, and carefully curated. We had gone for a tour in Vienna, and they brought us to this room. It was a palace. the gentleman who was the man of the house, this palace had been in their family for 400 years. And the room that we were in, he had told us that Mozart and Beethoven had both played in this room, and just oozed of history, and was really, really cool. Europe, where can you cruise? So starting from the left and going across, there's a Douro River in Portugal. That is a UNESCO heritage spot. In France, there's Bordeaux, the Bordeaux region, of course, all the wine. There's north of France, going up to Paris to Normandy. There's the south of France. And then there is Amsterdam down to Basel. The Danube, the lower Danube. There were cruises going through the Ukraine, of course. Right now, not a lot of demand for those, and Russia, maybe someday we'll be back. If you've done all the European rivers, there is Vietnam, Cambodia. I'm a book to sail on the Mekong this October. And if you're going to places like that, you've got to do a pre and post. You've got to go into Hanoi, post in Saigon, Bangkok. Egypt, we are selling a ton of Egypt right now. And if you're going there, you've got to do a pre or post in Jordan and in Israel. I got a chance to go to Petra in fall, and it's just like, it's just that surreal experience. Very cool. And then, of course, the river boats going down the Mississippi. You can go all the way from St. Paul all the way down to New Orleans. So our number one seller is the Grand European Tour. And that's a 15-day, 14-night. That is from Amsterdam to Budapest, or Budapest back to Amsterdam. That's probably about 40% of our people who book a river cruise will book that one. There are two 7-night, the romantic Danube and the Rhine getaway. People ask me which one is better. They're both great, and you should really do both of them. So it's going to take you several cruises to be able to do all the cruises that you want to do in Europe. I'm just going to walk you through quickly through the 15 nights. So we're going to start in Amsterdam. You will board there, and we do recommend that you go there at least like one night pre, just to shake off the jet lag, and there's a lot to see there. You will get a tour, you'll get a canal tour, down all the beautiful canals of Amsterdam. You go by Anne Frank's house. Lots of World War I, World War II history there. You will sail by the windmills and the tulip fields. Tulip time is right now. And so we've had clients sailing already in the Netherlands for the last 2 weeks because it's tulip time. You'll see just fields and fields of tulips. Very cool. You will sail by Cologne. You'll spend the day there. You'll see the Gothic cathedrals, all the World War II history throughout Germany. Once the war was done, all these towns really spent painstaking time to recreate the town like it was before. Koblenz, this is one of the only castles in Germany that's never been destroyed. It's a 1,000-year-old castle, and you will sail by castles along the Rhine. You'll go by, the vineyards. Some of these cruises will go down the Mosel. That's Riesling country. The Middle Rhine. I mean, you can sit on the top deck with your glass of wine and just watch history, go by you. Wittenberg, it's like a storybook a town as well. You spend, I think, 6 or 8 hours in Wittenberg. Go to Würzburg. The old bridges, the just everything there to see. Nuremberg, so that is a very important city in World War II. That was where the Nazi parade ground was. You can see the parade ground where Hitler spoke to the masses who were there. You will go by the Zeppelin field. Nuremberg was where the war crime trials were held. You will tour the courthouse. It's a active courthouse still, and just the history throughout there. And then Regensburg, another beautiful, German town. And then you'll go to Passau. That's where the three rivers come in together. And on the picture on the right, there's a cathedral right in the middle. And if you do the city tour, they will quite often bring you right inside that cathedral, and you'll get an organ concert. It is one of the largest organs, pipe organ in Europe. They were telling us that they recently did a cleaning of the church, and they were cleaning in places where they'd not cleaned since the cathedral was built hundreds of years ago. And they brought in like hundreds of Italian craftsmen to build this church. And they were finding all sorts of stuff that was left by the workers there hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So history, just, you'll go to Milk. This is the Milk Abbey, and this is a active abbey still. The library in there, it is so ornate and so, like, they just don't build stuff like this today. And I've got hundreds of pictures because it was just amazing. And yeah, that is worth going there just to see this. And then you'll cruise the Wachau Valley, UNESCO Heritage Site again, wineries, and the little villages and the little cathedrals and churches. Vienna, Austria. I mean, I would go back here for a week. There's so much to see here. When you sail the Danube River, you'll learn about the Habsburg dynasty. They were the ruling family. I never heard of them before. And just like so many amazing buildings throughout the city. Yeah, just like wander around there. Yeah, there's a Schomburg Palace is there, the Winter Palace. Then your cruise is going to finish up in Budapest, Hungary. Hungary is one of those countries, like, we just didn't learn a lot about. There's so much World War II history that we didn't learn about the Eastern European part of the war. I was really fascinated just by Hungary was taken over by the Russians. And so the Hungarians thought, oh, great, we're like saved. And then they just traded one dictator for another one for another 50 years. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. The church on the right, Matthias Church, they tell a story about the stained glass windows. When the Nazis were coming in, the Nazis were looting all of the churches. And so the priests had taken out all the stained glass windows and they hid them in a farmer's field and buried them. And when the Nazis came in, they wanted to know, like, where were the where were the windows? Nobody would tell them, so they killed all the priests. And then when the Soviets came, and then when the Soviets left, they were stories about the windows had been passed down, and they couldn't remember where the windows were. And so it was about a 10-year search. They finally found them and put them back in the church not that long ago. It just stories like that, and just the history. It's really, really a great place. On the final night of your cruise, you will sail down the Danube. Budapest lights up all their buildings, all the bridges. It is lit up and it's just spectacular. It's like one of the neatest nighttime cruises. And then you will be done, and then you will have to fly home. But if you're not ready to go yet, there are pre and post packages. A 2-night post in Budapest. You can do a 3-night pre or post in Prague. Highly recommend spending some time in Prague. It's just like one of those, Eastern European, forgotten about jewels that that has been totally reborn post-communism. So you can do a pre or post in Amsterdam. And you can also include The Hague as well. So itineraries for wine lovers. Who likes wine? Bordeaux. We talked about this quickly. There's over 90 wineries close to this, close to the city. You don't cruise very far, but they cruise to these small towns so that you're closer to the wineries. You're going to be having some amazing wine. And one of the great things about a river cruise, if they bring you to one of these amazing wineries that's been making wine for 1,000, 1,200 years, you can buy some and bring it back to the ship. There's no corkage fees. They don't care if you bring it back. They want you to bring it back. And that you can enjoy all that the area has. South of France, Lyon to Avignon. You can do a pre in Paris first, and then you will take the train down to Lyon. I love this. I did this probably 2014, 2015. Avignon, that's where the Palace of the Popes is. The Vatican was moved to France. I didn't know that, but that's just some of the history that you learn. It was moved there and then it was moved back, but the French Pope didn't want to give up power to the Roman Pope, and so there were 2 popes like for a while. So very cool, beautiful part of the world, great cruise. Portugal, the Douro Valley, port wine. Oh, fantastic. 10 days. I'm going to spend some time in Lisbon first, and then you'll cruise down there. There are sailings for history buffs. So Paris to the heart of Normandy. What I love about all the river cruise lines is they don't just bring you to Gold Beach. They don't just bring you to Omaha Beach. They will bring Canadians to Juno Beach. We've had people on cruises where they were the only Canadians, and they brought them to Juno Beach by a private taxi cab because they know how important that beach is to Canadians. Spectacular cruise, and there's a special cruise coming up in 2024. They will be not celebrating, but commemorating the 80th anniversary of D-Day. And so there'll be a 4-day pre in London, and then you will take the channel to Paris, and then you will sail from Paris and do your cruise from there. Elegant Elbe, one of the smaller rivers, but you'll spend 2 nights in Berlin, and then board the ship in Wittenberg, overnight there, and then you sail down, and then you can you go by motor coach to Prague. And then Egypt, we have more people going to Egypt this year and booked for next year than ever before. I think it's just people want to dig out their bucket list, go to the top of their bucket list instead of the bottom, and let's see things. Let's make every trip count. And so here, going into Cairo, 2 nights there, you're going to see the pyramids, go to the museums, then you fly down to Luxor, you board your luxury riverboat and a 7-night cruise there, and then you fly back to Cairo. You've got to go to Israel, and you've got to go to Jordan for a pre and post. If you're there, you've absolutely got to go. Jerusalem, Bethlehem, you will think about Christmas, you'll think about Easter differently when you've visited the places where it happened. So, I mean, there's lots of different itineraries. I just touched on the most popular, the magnificent Mekong, 15 days, Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh, Egypt to Mississippi as well. Lots of great itineraries there. So let's just, and I hope that this is going to work. I've got a video here just about the ship, so we'll see if this works.
The Viking longships are the way to explore Europe, sailing the continent's tranquil and historic waterways.
It's a beautiful day along the river, and we'd like to take the opportunity to show you around one of our longships.
The Viking Lounge is light and airy, a natural gathering place for new friends, for entertainment and for lectures. Architecturally,
the bar has actually been clinker built, which is very similar in style to the way the Vikings built their longships in their day. And you love these floor-to-ceiling wraparound windows. They're taller than me, even when I'm on heels.
just off the light-filled reception area is the spacious, well-stocked library.
We have free Wi-Fi on all our ships, but should you choose to leave your computers behind, you're of course welcome to use our laptops here in the internet corner of the library.
Up top, ever-changing views are just one part of this vast deck. These ships are a marvel of technology, with ecologically friendly hybrid engines for smooth sailing.
We even have solar panels lining both sides of our longships. And we have an herb garden, so that when our great chef runs out in the kitchen, he can come upstairs and that's right, and pick your own fresh herbs.
The dining room is spacious and inviting, with complimentary wine served at both lunch and dinner.
As on all our Viking ships, we have open seating dining, and this means that you can sit with whomever you want, whenever you want, and you can change that every day if you like. And though the food is exquisite, the dress code is rather casual and relaxed. You can leave all your fancy frocks at home.
Or you can dine amid spectacular views on the Aquavit Terrace.
This is my favorite part of the ship. On a sunny day like today, the Aquavit Terrace is the perfect place for a spot of lunch.
The skylight-capped area also doubles as an inviting sunroom.
This is a quiet hideaway you don't want to miss.
And when it's time to rest your head at night, there are plenty of delightful options, many with private balconies, plus the ultimate in river cruise accommodations.
We have 2 Explorer Suites on our Longship series, and it can't get very much better than this.
Come experience the Viking longships for yourself and discover why they're the most talked about ships in Europe.
So hopefully that gives you a little feel for what a riverboat is like. I remember what I felt like taking my very first river cruise. We got to the ship and I looked and I said, I'm going to spend a week on this because we're so accustomed to sailing on so much bigger ships. And once I got on board and I met people, and you find, I mean, it's very social. It is big enough. There's lots to do. There's that top deck that you can just sit and watch the river go by. Staff is great. The food is great. Yeah, do not worry about a river cruise at all. The food, the cuisine, it's fresh. The chefs will go into the towns every day to get fresh food to cook, because they don't have great big storerooms. And so what you're getting was picked like from the market that day. And it's real authentic, great food. River cruising, it's a thinking person's cruise. You're going to travel to explore. This is not tourism. This is travelers. Lots to do on board, and you do make friends. My very first cruise, there was a solo traveler, and we were traveling with about 6 of us. And she was from Canada, and she asked if she could hang out with our group, and we said absolutely. And so she joined our group for the rest of the week. And yeah, you meet the greatest people. We talked about, there's that price to pay to get on the ship. There's a price to pay to get off the ship. What is included? Shore excursion, all your meals on board, multiple dining venues, beer, wine, and soft drinks for lunch and supper. Now, if you like to partake, after supper, during the afternoon, maybe mimosas for breakfast, Viking has a drink package that you can purchase. I believe it's $30 per person per day, or it could be $39. I'm not 100% sure, but it's around that. Specialty coffees and teas. There's bottled water, free Wi-Fi. For the pre and the post, there's first-class hotels. All the pricing is all inclusive. It does include your port charges and government taxes as well. So there's no, surprises. What is not included? So we talked about drinks besides breakfast and lunch and supper. Gratuities. The suggested gratuity is 20 euros per person per day. That can be either pre-charged by us before you go, or you can actually give out cash on board the ship as well to the staff. And you're going to love these guys. You're going to want to bring them home. They really work hard for what they do. So that's a little bit about River. I just want to take a second just to talk about their ocean. These are 930 passenger ships. I'm going to show you a video. It's shorter, and it talks about three of these ships. They now have 10, and they really cover the world. So let's just take a look at this video quick.
The all-veranda Viking Star, Viking Sea, and Viking Sky are the ships our river guests inspired us to build. With just 930 guests, these small ships are thoughtfully designed to enrich your journey in every aspect. And because of our size, we're able to dock in prime locations. We also use the latest green technology, and all our ocean ships meet the strictest environmental regulations. Outside, our main pool with retractable roof is always perfect for a swim, even if the weather should be less than perfect. And we didn't just add an aft pool, we created the infinity pool to give you a sense of swimming right in your destination. When you yearn for serenity, the Winter Garden is the place to unplug and indulge in an afternoon tea service. Even the spa experience has been reimagined. In addition to holistic methods, we follow Nordic tradition with a treatment that combines an invigorating sauna with our remarkable snow grotto, where snowflakes gently descend from the ceiling through chilled air to greatly improve the body's circulation. Every destination has its own flavor, and on board Viking Star, Sea and Sky, you can taste them all. Our menus feature regional specialties made with locally sourced ingredients, along with always available American classics. There are multiple dining options, from relaxed and casual to our elegant restaurant. Perhaps you'd enjoy the chef's table for a specially prepared tasting menu complete with wine pairings. Or Manfredi's Italian restaurant for a classic Italian antipasto, delicious handmade pasta, or tempting tiramisu. If a quiet, private meal is what you desire, we offer 24-hour room service. And since the ultimate dining room is the great outdoors, Viking Star and her sister ships each offer more al fresco dining experiences than any other ships at sea. And then, of course, there are the accommodations. Great care was taken to ensure that every stateroom is an inviting home on the water, designed with the understated elegance Viking has come to be known for. The choices range from comfortable staterooms to spacious suites. And every one has a veranda, so you're always just steps away from stunning views. Join us as we usher in a new era of ocean cruising. On board the ships of Viking, you'll enjoy ocean cruising reimagined, while exploring the world in comfort.
So there we go. Ocean cruising with Viking. There are sailings from 7-night to their world cruise is 155 nights. Because the ship is smaller, they can go into a lot of the smaller ports. The larger ships can't. Again, it's still no kids allowed. So we have really seen a move from people who were sailing with, cruise lines like Princess and Celebrity, sailing with 3,000 and 4,000 people, looking for smaller ships. Less people, I want more space. I don't want to sail with thousands anymore. And so it's a great option. And then just to mention quickly, there are two expedition ships, the Octanus and I can't pronounce the other one, but they're built for the Arctic. They're built for Antarctic. They're sailing from Buenos Aires to Ushuaia, then they cross the Drake Package, and then you've got 6 days exploring Antarctica. Both of these ships have submarines, so they can take you by submarine to check out stuff under the water. And so that is in Antarctica. And then this year, both of the ships are going to be in the Great Lakes. I live in Thunder Bay, and so last year the Octanus visited us 8 times in Thunder Bay. It was really cool to see this beautiful new cruise ship docked in the Thunder Bay Harbor. So there is a repositioning cruise from Toronto to Milwaukee, and then they'll do a regular Milwaukee to Thunder Bay, stops in Georgian Bay, the Sioux Locks, Silver Islet in Thunder Bay. That's where they actually built a silver mine in the middle of the lake, and just the history there. They take out the submarines to visit not all, but many of the shipwrecks throughout Lake Superior, and then Thunder Bay to Milwaukee back there. And then some of the other newer sailings for this year, a 15-day Toronto to Duluth, Minnesota. It's going to stop in Thunder Bay. Wave at me, I will wave back. And just a great way to see the Great Lakes. Sometimes we forget about all the amazing things that Canada has to show us as well. So that's a little bit about Viking. I can't possibly, we could talk for hours and hours. The current promotion There's a $150 shipboard credit per person. And this is valid on 2023 and 2024 new European river cruise bookings. This is supposed to start April 3rd, but we have such a great relationship with Viking. They said you can start it right away. So we are good to start to book this. Because Viking sells out so fast, like right now for 2023, they're about 85% sold out. There is some space with 15-day Budapest to Amsterdam sailings. They've got some sailings that have got complimentary air still. So let us know what you're thinking about. Our team will work with you to find you what's best. There is lots of space for 2024 right now, but we're expecting 24 to fill up like even quicker than 23 has. So yeah, and my team is just dedicated to, making your next vacation spectacular. If you're working with one of my team now, reach out to them, talk about, what are you really looking for? If you've never booked with one of my stores before, call us with this a toll-free number, or email us, and we will connect you with our local store, and we'll get somebody to work with you. So if you've got any questions, there's a Q&A box there, and I can stay on for a couple of minutes and take any questions that anybody would have. If you don't have any questions, then we can move on, but I can wait a second or two, a minute. But if there's no questions, I want to thank you for joining us here tonight. Thank you to those who joined us on YouTube and on Facebook Live, and we really look forward to working with you. There's a question: is there airfare included? So great question. Viking has certain itineraries. They have complimentary air built in, and then there's some they don't. So it really boils down to where do you want to go. I believe the 15-night or the 15-day cruise for 23 has complimentary air, and then some of the sailings for next year have discounted air. So $3.99, $4.99, $9.99. So let us know what are you looking for, and we can certainly give you a hand with that. So great question. Okay. Well, with that, I want to thank you for joining us. Have a great night, and we look forward to helping you with your next trip. Have a good night, everybody.